and welcome to this week's lesson, where we're going to talk about Boolean operators, which are ways to make Google work better for you. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about what they are, some basic prompts, and go through an example of how they can be useful. So, what are they? At their most basic level, they're ways of manipulating Google to give you more specific or better results. As the example on the screen shows, there's some quotation marks around words and the use of the word and. While it would still probably be just as effective if you didn't have this, it's just an example. So the most basic prompts that you'll use, and ones that I use every single day in my day job, is and, or, not, quotation marks, asterisk marks, and ... which is a time period between two different dates. So as you can imagine, the and is two words and. So any Google search is going to show both of those words in the same page. Or, as you can probably work out, is or. So one or the other, not both. And not. This is a good way of cutting out certain searches. So if you're looking for a specific person and they have they share the name with a famous person, let's say a famous guitarist, you could search for their name, not guitarist, or not music, something like that, some way of cancelling out the large contributor to your search results. As you can imagine, this could give you much clearer search results. You then also have quotation marks, so good for people's names, where you have both of their names, put them in quotation marks, and then it's always looking for those names together next to each other as you have written them, not in the same document. Because if you search for the name John Smith, which is the example we're going to use in a minute, it could be the name John and the name Smith in the same article somewhere. But if you put it in quotation marks, you're searching for John Smith. I hope you get what I mean. So you could have John Smith and etc. But we'll get into that right now. So let's get into our example for John Smith. As you can imagine, if you search for John Smith on the internet, you're going to get a crap ton of answers. There are millions of John Smiths. It's an extremely common name. So if I was looking for a specific individual, let's say a John Smith in New Zealand, I could search for John Smith and New Zealand. You can try along if you want using this name. Because if you search John Smith and New Zealand, you get a rugby player, a famous New Zealand rugby player. He's the most popular person who gets clicked on in that search premise. So you get that. But if I was looking for a specific John Smith, one that worked in, let's say, the banking sector, then I would need to use John Smith and banking or and insurance. And then when you search that, you get to much more specific results. You get John Smiths who work for the heads of a managed fund for ASB Bank, or a person who works for Fidelity Life Insurance. So if you're looking for an actual subject of an investigation, this is a far more effective way of cutting through the noise and getting the people you're actually looking for. So, as you can imagine, the internet has a lot of information, and we need a way to cut through it. That's where the searching Boolean comes from. It's a way of refining your searches on the internet and making you a much more effective investigator. When conducting research or investigations on the internet, time is money. So being effective, as you can see, very important by my use of the word multiple times. If this is something new to you and you want to learn more about some basic research techniques, I do have a browser-based open source intelligence course available in the description below. It's a good way to start, a good base level of how to conduct research on the internet without using the advanced tools you might get in some other courses. So yeah, if that interests you, go check it out. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next week. See you!